This video is for you if you've recently asked yourself, or perhaps a therapist or a coach, why am I not feeling better by now? And this is a question that I get asked by clients frequently. They feel that they're doing all the practices, that they are reading the books, that they are following the advice, that they are going to therapy, that they are doing workshops and sessions, etc. And they're really putting in the effort to take care of themselves. And this video is for those people. It's not just for people that have done a few bits of regulation work here and there, but for the people that have been at this for a while and wondering why it is that they're not feeling better. And what that means and if they're doing things right. And first, I want to say that I think that because of social media and just because of also how new the world of nervous system health and regulation and restoration and healing is, that we are conditioned to believe that we can do a particular technique, we can do a certain session or a meditation, perhaps a workshop, a retreat, a course, a 30-day course to reset our nervous system. And I would say it's not that, I don't think the word reset is accurate, and I don't use it in my own vocabulary, typically when working with clients, because it's not just an on-off button, and it definitely isn't an on-off button for people that have experienced trauma of any kind. But, we can experience significant shifts and restoration in our nervous system sometimes when we do a workshop, an activity, an exercise, go to therapy. Of course we can. But typically these are compounding effects of all the things that we've done before, not just that one specific thing that you are doing at that moment when you experience that shift. And we've been conditioned to think that we can reset our nervous system using this technique, using this workshop. And it's really unrealistic because the nervous system is a complicated beast. It is absolutely huge, and it is connected both to our body, so our physical being, as well as our mental and our emotional state. Now, this takes a lot of work, a lot of time, and a lot of patience in order for us to be able to support it, to be able to bring in that restoration. It's not typically one or the other. I think a lot of people that work in nervous system regulation, especially in the field of somatics and body-based work, will say to you that you doing the work through the body is the only way in order for you to restore your nervous system. And it is a huge part of it, but it's not the only way. You can't bypass the talking side of things. Not everybody benefits from bypassing that, because we have got things that we need to verbally share and verbally express. And when we co-regulate with a trusted therapist, practitioner, coach that is trauma informed, that is so incredibly important for healing the nervous system. And this idea that this hope this aspiration that, you know, why am I not feeling better? Because you're not necessarily feeling better, that you think that that means that you're not healing. But as Gabor Mate once famously said, healing isn't about feeling better, it's about getting better at feeling. And so simply through feeling more than what you did before, this is a sign that you are actually healing. And just because you might not be feeling better doesn't mean that that's a sign that you are not. In polyvagal theory, we have to move through different stages of the nervous system. So typically, if you have been somebody that has been feeling disconnected, disassociated, numbed out, had some kind of depression, in order to come out of what we call this dorsal state, we have to go into the next state up the nervous system ladder, which is where we are actually feeling a lot more activated. We are feeling a lot more anxious, and a lot more energy and a lot more aliveness is coming into the system. And this can feel scary for somebody that has previously been in the other state, so feeling more numbed out and disassociated and disconnected from themselves and the world around them. And so when we move into this next stage where energy is coming back in the body, we begin to reconnect with ourselves and our environment and with other people. That can feel extremely overwhelming and overstimulating, and then push us back down. And we actually, it is said in polyvagal theory that we fluctuate between those two before we go to this social engagement stage, where we feel capable and resourced and like everything is possible, and we feel better. So I'm just checking my notes here. Yeah, feeling better and being better, having a more alive and more responsive nervous system don't always go hand in hand immediately. The other thing is that a lot of this work, which people do not talk about, is for you to actually have the patience and the compassion for the healing to take place. And when you begin to realize that your healing journey is not going to be over in a couple of months, and that actually what you're healing from is not just a particular event or time period, but years of events and periods and situations that have caused dysregulation over time. And I don't say this because I'm not saying this because I want to, you know, make you feel like the work is never ending or you've got so much to work through. But when you realize that actually there's a lot that has contributed to the dysregulation that you have felt in order to go on this healing journey, and you just kind of surrender to that, and you have compassion for yourself for what you've been through and what you can't even remember what you've been through, and just knowing that your body has been holding all of that for such a long time, then that is also part of the healing journey. And that was a huge part of my healing journey, when I realized that there wasn't really going to be a moment when I just felt better. course, I feel a lot better now than what I did 3 years ago, massively. And you will feel better at times, but it's not this, linear upward trajectory. Is that the right word? It is a up and down, back and forth, left and right, inside out journey. And there is no one-off thing that you can do. The nervous system, like I said, is extremely complex, and deep dysregulation, especially from long-term traumatic stress or from traumatic events, completely overwhelms the nervous system, and it takes time to regrow those neurological pathways. It takes time and patience and compassion for it to physically restore. That's why I don't believe that we can just reset. I'm sure some people have felt that, but they'll have to reset it again, because the nervous system as well, it's not just like we reset it or we restore it and now we just feel better. I will make a video on this, but nervous system regulation isn't about always feeling better, isn't about always being calm. It is about having a flexible nervous system that can feel the full range of emotions and sensations that go with the events that happen in our lives. But it is more, the regulation is more about how long we are able to, how long we stay in these states of highs or states of lows, and how quickly it takes us to come back to being in a regulated, grounded, capable state. It's not just about constantly living in this regulated state all the time. Throughout our day, we have different periods. When we breathe in, we move into parasympathetic. And when we breathe in, we are activating our sympathetic nervous system. And when we exhale, we are activating our parasympathetic nervous system. We are not just constantly regulated, even with our breath. We are moving up and down through these states of regulation with our day, with our week, with our month, with our year, with our lives. So I just want you to know that if you have been feeling like you're a failure because you're not feeling better by now, are you being realistic about the amount of time you are giving yourselves, and are you being kind to yourself in that process? Because the body cannot heal if it is being criticized. The nervous system cannot heal if it is being criticized and berated. So part of the healing work is to work on your self-compassion and your patience. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Donna Louise, and I am a trauma-trained somatic practitioner, a functional breathwork coach, and a trainee counsellor. I've been doing this work for about 2 years now, alongside doing clinical trauma-informed EFT. If any of this resonates with you and you are curious to explore one-to-one support for your healing journey, please feel free to check out the link in the description. And if you have any questions around what I've spoke about in today's video, please drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I would love to see if there's anything that I can make a video around that you might find supportive. Like and subscribe. That would be great too. Thank you very, very much for being here, and I'll see you very soon. Take good care.